This bulletin proudly brought to you in association with Alex Campbell's Menswear.
Tonight on the South Today, police confirm they're investigating a murder after a body was discovered in a rural area north of Dunedin on Monday. Police are following positive lines of inquiry in the case of a miniature horse who died following a vicious attack. And a Dunedin woman has been interviewed by BBC World News about New Zealand's threatened and unpopular red-billed seagulls. Kia ora, good evening, I'm Sophie Morris. Police have confirmed they're investigating a murder after a body was discovered in a rural area north of Dunedin on Monday evening. Meanwhile, a sighting has emerged of a woman possibly linked to a bloody crime scene in Dunedin, which police now say is related to the discovery of the body.
Officers and forensic experts continuing to examine the crime scene at a home in Lock Street in St Clair. Neighbours who'd been inside before police arrived describe a blood-drenched scene in the house with drag marks on the floor.
There's no body, the body's missing, but someone's been chopped up. There's blood clots everywhere. You can see where the body was chopped up on the floor, and there's metal sprayed everywhere. The whole house is covered in blood.
In a statement, police say the property is being examined following a missing person case from the 5th of February. But they won't say whether the scenes are linked to the discovery of a body in a rural area north of Dunedin on Monday night. Neighbour Marie Dobia, who lives in an adjoining flat, says she saw the woman who lived at the property at Dunedin Hospital on Monday last week, 6 days after the man who lived at the property went missing.
But I got up and next thing the policeman was there outside and I thought, hey, what's going on? And he told me and I gave him details I'm giving you, and I've seen her at Dunedin Public.
The investigation's now being treated as a homicide. Police are appealing for information about a dark blue 1995 Toyota People Mover driven from Dunedin to Picton in the early hours of February the 5th. Neighbours at the St Clair address say police told them a man went missing from the house in suspicious circumstances. They told them there was blood inside but wouldn't confirm if they'd found a body. Neighbour Stephen Voigt, who's serving a home detention sentence, says no one could have survived whatever happened in the house.
I've been in jail and seen people killed. And I used to be the sergeant at arms and the enforcer for 2 gangs, and I used to be the sort of person who did that.
He says the pair who lived there had only rented it for about 3 or 4 weeks. The body found north of Dunedin's yet to be formally identified. A post-mortem is scheduled for tomorrow in Dunedin, the South Today.
A reveller has fallen from a balcony and fractured his skull at a Dunedin flat in the early hours of this morning. Police say the young man fractured his skull and a collarbone in the fall at a flat on Pitt Street opposite Knox Church. They say the incident could have been worse and he's a very lucky young man. St John's say an ambulance was called just after 12:30, transporting one patient with serious injuries to Dunedin Hospital's emergency department. Police say they're following positive lines of inquiry in the case of a miniature horse from Waitati who died following a vicious and prolonged stabbing attack. The case has been elevated to the Criminal Investigation Branch and is being led by a detective sergeant. And a warning, this story contains distressing content.
Locals say a climate of fear has enveloped the sleepy seaside community of Waitati after beloved miniature horse Star died after suffering over 40 stab wounds in a midnight attack on Sunday. Police have visited the crime scene. The case has now been elevated to the Criminal Investigation Branch.
Which is absolutely deplorable, and we look to hold the persons identified to account because we all have pets and it's not acceptable in any way, shape or form.
The incident has shocked the wider community as well, the subject raised at a public forum at yesterday's City Council meeting.
I think a minute's silence for the death of the little horse is perhaps in order, but you may not think so. I'm sure that everyone in Dunedin is absolutely horrified about this event.
Can I say that all of us share your considerable concern that there are people or a person or people in our community that would do something like that. It is of grave concern.
Possibly children.
Glad they're not mine.
Police believe the prolonged attack was carried out with a knife, and there are suggestions more than one person is likely to have been responsible, as Star wouldn't have stood still throughout the attack.
Our eyes are open at the moment. We don't know whether it's one or two, so we haven't ruled out that it's just a single person acting in singularity. So it could be, but we haven't got that far yet.
He says Star's owner is devastated following the attack, as are the community and investigating officers in Dunedin, the South today.
A Canadian man who was in Otago on a working holiday was arrested at Queenstown Airport yesterday as he tried to skip the country to avoid a drink driving charge. Police say the 23-year-old quit his job and booked flights for Los Angeles after being charged with drink driving following a crash in the resort on Saturday. He recorded a breath alcohol level of 675 micrograms. He was due to appear in the Queenstown District Court next Monday, but a border alert meant he was arrested when he attempted to check in at the airport. A Dunedin woman has been interviewed by BBC World News about New Zealand's threatened and unpopular red-billed seagulls. Otago Peninsula Trust marketing manager Sophie Barker says the gulls are viewed negatively by too many people.
Waiting to speak on the BBC about seagulls, Sophie Barker from the Otago Peninsula Trust now has the attention of the world regarding these increasingly endangered seabirds.
There was actually an article in The Guardian about how endangered the seagulls were here in New Zealand, and the BBC's picked it up, so they're interviewing me today about misunderstood seagulls and why we formed the Seagull Appreciation Society.
According to Barker, most people have the wrong idea about birds such as the red-billed gull, the most common of the 3 species found around New Zealand.
Seagulls are very misunderstood birds. I think that people see them stealing their food, pooing on their cars, etc., and don't quite understand how endangered they are, and that they're actually a barometer of what's going on in the world.
She says their populations are plummeting, partially due to land developments on former nesting areas and the depletion of natural food resources for seabirds.
The seagulls are becoming more and more endangered. Their population's been plummeting. That's because there's a lot of overfishing, there's a lot of pests which are eating the chicks, etc., etc., and also the places to live, safe nesting places.
Taiaroa Head not only provides a pest-free sanctuary for albatrosses, but also other seabirds, such as the seagull.
So we're very lucky out at Taiaroa Head with Kura, is that we actually have one of the only colonies not in decline where the chicks are safe to breed.
Barker says red-billed gulls are important to the country's biodiversity and our appreciation for the world we live in. In Dunedin, for the South Today.
Still to come on the South Today. The Central Otago A&P show returns to Omaka, and Waka learns how to tango.
When it's time to say goodbye to your pet, Heaven Sent Pet Cremations are here to help you through this difficult experience. Call Heaven Sent Pet Cremations today for their care and guidance. Phone 489-2274.
I just like it. It's something that you can see the fruits of your own labour. You put it right now, you don't have as much to do at Christmas. You come see me, Derek, in the garden department, and then we get it done right.
Step into Ross Cafe, located at Ross Home in North East Valley. We have a great range of hot and cold food, friendly service and a warm atmosphere that you are sure to enjoy. We look forward to serving you soon at Ross Cafe.
Need to rent an EFTPOS? Whether it's just a week or the whole season, maybe a pop-up store, a concert or event, Anything's POS have equipment available to suit your needs for retail and hospitality with local support. To rent, lease or buy, contact Anything's POS.
Don't suffer in silence. Call Sunny Chin, Chi Master Body Technician for structural, muscular, emotional bodywork. Phone 03 4250 606 for all your pain relief.
Every reason, every season, we're proud to dress the region. Alex Campbell Menswear, it fits.
Step into Shop on Carol and discover a shop full of treasures. We have a fantastic range of vintage and retro clothes, upmarket clothing labels, collectible items, beautiful jewellery, quality linen and the best range of vintage haberdashery.
At the Hard to Find Bookshop, we sell quality books on all subjects from the rare to the recent, and where viable, we will come to you. We have a great reputation for integrity and honesty, so if you're downsizing or sorting an estate and have books to sell, contact us.
If you're at risk of developing melanoma skin cancer, you owe it to yourself to have a mole map. Mole Map is coming to your area. Phone today to make an appointment. It could save your life.
Welcome back. A man has suffered critical injuries in an accident at a rural property in the Catlins. Police say they were called about noon to Cloris Pass Road in the Owaka Valley after the workplace incident today. St John's say one person was transported by Otago Regional Rescue Helicopter to Dunedin Hospital in a critical condition. WorkSafe have been advised. Omakau's Domain was a popular destination when the Central Otago A&P show returned on Saturday. More than 2,000 people attended the show and were treated to a range of stalls, activities and displays.
Pipers, percussion, wood chopping and big tractors. Just some of the attractions on offer at the Central Otago A&P show. People flocked from far and wide to enjoy the various aspects of the show, one of many in the area in the coming weeks. Royal Agricultural Society of New Zealand President Jeff Smith says Central's show went well.
The show today has been a brilliant show. We've been very lucky with the weather, great turnout of people and an excellent display of livestock.
Show goers were also treated to displays and activities, including a fashion parade, shearing and some furious wood chopping action.
Seriously, Brock, he's taken that off and probably give him a big hand, fellas. That was a top cut by Brad Paco. They just voted through that one there. Bobby Dowling going pretty good in the back row there, watching, hitting it hard. Adam Finlay having a go at him there.
But being an agricultural show, the day is mostly about animals.
Impressive showing of sheep, and it was great to see the family, the Patterson family, taking a clean sweep this time with fleece and with sheep, the supreme sheep of the show.
Among the displays and stalls was a poultry section, and these ladies with some appetising treats.
Really, I think it's all come together with a great atmosphere and a great example of what A&P shows in rural communities are all about.
The A&P show circuit is set to continue in Roxburgh this weekend and in Wanaka early next month. In Central, the South Today.
An Albertown resident is bringing the joy of dance to the lakes. Susa Jefferson has opened her house to help grow the art of tango dancing in the Wanaka community.
Breaking down social barriers through dance is Susa Jefferson of Albertown. Her love of tango began after being introduced to the Argentine dance form 4 years ago.
We had a couple of teachers in town who decided to set up some lessons, and I've always wanted to learn to partner dance. I've never done any partner dancing before. And they said, it's going to be tango. And I said, what's tango? So I did a little demonstration and played some music and went, okay, let's give that a go, and been hooked ever since.
As part of her love of dance, Ms. Jefferson has opened up her home to encourage others to enjoy tango.
Every Wednesday night there's a practica. I have an outdoor dance floor and an indoor dance floor at my house. It's just a small group of people at the moment. We're always trying to get new people to come along, but unfortunately people are quite afraid of dancing, even though it's one of these things that all over the world, in every single culture, everybody dances, everybody has music, right? But it seems that people are a little bit afraid of doing that. The other thing is people think you need to come along as a partner, but most people come along not in partners, they come alone and we all mix up dancing together. You don't just come along and dance with your partner. So there's a misconception there. Some people don't understand what tango is. You say tango and they think flamenco, or they might think salsa, and they don't actually know what tango is, and it's not until they see it they go, oh wow, that's quite something.
Simon Henderson for the South Today.
After the break on the South Today, players gear up for the rugby season and we check out tomorrow's weather.
Every Kiwi deserves a reliable garage door. Rely on Garador to protect your important stuff. Just like Darren. His Garador keeps his favourite ride in mint condition. We have a huge range at affordable prices. Visit our website for a free consultation. We stand behind every door.
Most of us have spots on our skin. That's quite normal. Finding skin cancer as early as possible is key to successful treatment. Book in for a free check of 1 to 2 moles or a comprehensive full body check with the Mole Doctor in Waverley.
At Green Island Medical Centre, we are committed in caring for our future and present generations. We know as a young person, coming to the doctors can be quite daunting. Our highly skilled doctors and nurses will make your experience one where you will leave with a smile. Your health is very important to us.
It's always really satisfying when a customer comes back after doing a purchase of outdoor furniture and knowing that we've got it done right.
Need to rent an EFTPOS? Whether it's just a week or the whole season, maybe a pop-up store, a concert or event, Anything's POS have equipment available to suit your needs for retail and hospitality with local support. To rent, lease or buy, contact Anything's POS.
Step into Shop on Carroll and discover a shop full of treasures. We have a fantastic range of vintage and retro clothes, upmarket clothing labels, collectible items, beautiful jewellery, quality linen and the best range of vintage haberdashery.
Step into Op Shop on St Andrew and discover a place with plenty of bargains for yourself, your friends and the whole family. We have new items arriving every day. Visit us for a fabulous range of economy and upmarket clothing, accessories, books, shoes and more. Shop with us and support your community.
Every reason, every season, we're proud to dress the region. Alex Campbell Menswear, it fits.
If you're at risk of developing melanoma skin cancer, you owe it to yourself to have a mole map. Mole Map is coming to your area. Phone today to make an appointment. It could save your life.
Welcome back. Queenstown ski racer Alice Robinson has been crowned Junior World Champion in Giant Slalom. The 17-year-old went into last night's race at the Alpine World Junior Ski Championships in Italy as world number 1 under-18 racer for ladies GS. It's the first time a New Zealander has won a Junior World title in alpine ski racing. Robinson says being able to win in the first race at the Junior World Championships is incredible. Rugby players around the south are starting to dust off the boots in preparation for the upcoming season. Central Otago players, and some from further afield, got an opportunity to do just that when the annual Clyde Earnscleugh Rugby Football Club's Tens tournament returned last weekend.
Teams from as far away as Mackenzie and Auckland among those who travelled to Clyde to take part in the Earnscleugh Rugby Club's Tens tournament over the weekend. Event organiser Corey Crosby says it's a great start to the season.
Yeah, it's been a good turnout. 18s enjoying themselves, good pre-season hit out, and everyone's had a good day so far.
He says the idea for the tournament started with a discussion at training one night. It was suggested they should go to a Tens tournament, which was followed by another suggestion from Crosby they host the tournament themselves. The event's grown in popularity ever since, so much so registrations are restricted to just 8 teams. As well as the competition, a Golden Oldies match between north and south of the Clyde Dam also entertained the crowd.
Just finished the Golden Oldies game, north versus south, south coming out on top.
For the record, Auckland's Pakuranga beat Wakatipu in the final to take out this year's title, and Clyde the South today.
The Highlanders have named 9 All Blacks for their Super Rugby clash with the Reds in Dunedin on Friday night. Crowd favourite Waisake Noholo comes back into the starting side on the right wing, with Matt Faddis dropping to the bench. Aaron Smith returns to the starting 15, while in the forwards, All Blacks duo Shannon Frizzell and Jackson Hemopa will both start. Liam Squire has been ruled out due to a hip injury, with Dylan Hunt elevated into the starting side. And now recapping tonight's top stories on the South today. Police have confirmed they're investigating a murder after a body was discovered in a rural area north of Dunedin on Monday evening. Police say they're following positive lines of inquiry in the case of a miniature horse from Waitati who died following a vicious and prolonged stabbing attack. And a Dunedin woman has been interviewed by BBC World News about New Zealand's threatened and unpopular red-billed seagulls. And time now for a look at what's happening in tomorrow's ODT. Welcome, Craig.
Good evening. Yeah, we're going to have more on the homicide in Dunedin. Of course, the body found north of the city, and forensic teams carrying out lots of work up in Lock Street in Dunedin at the moment. Police are not saying a great deal about it, really. Won't confirm whether the deceased person is male or female, but they're also looking for a vehicle that apparently left Dunedin and headed for Picton. February 5th, I think it was. We've been up there again today talking to residents, and you know, as you can imagine, a lot of shock, horror up there about what's gone on. A lot of them don't know much about the people who lived at the house, so yeah, it's a bit of a mystery, and I think there's still a lot more stories to come out about it in the meantime. Busy old city at the moment, and lots happening around town tonight. We've got the launch of the Fringe Festival this evening. More than 80 acts announced for the festival, which runs from March 21 to 31. Yeah, we've got, along with a news story about the launch, we've also got some stuff in our arts pages focusing on some of the acts that are coming and some profiles there as well. And of course, Orientation Week as well. It's the big night tonight, toga party, so a good time to lock up your sheets as thousands of toga-clad students will be heading to the stadium. We've got a photographer down there catching lots of the excitement, and we'll have some updated images on our website throughout the evening as well. And also a big day at cricket as well. We have of course, the Black Caps in Bangladesh playing in Dunedin today. Thousands of people there, looking like a good win for New Zealand. We'll have a full wrap of that as well.
Great, well thank you, Craig.
Thank you.
All of that and more in tomorrow's ODT. And time now for a look at tomorrow's weather.
Tonight's weather proudly brought to you by MoleMap.
Beginning with the situation, a cold weekend ahead with showers and gusty southerly quarter winds. Starting off at the northwest of the South Island, Greymouth and Westport can expect a wet day with highs of 22 degrees. Across to the northeast, Nelson and Blenheim can expect some cloud and highs of 26 degrees. In Canterbury, plan for a cloudy day and a 26-degree high for Kaikoura. Christchurch and Ashburton are slightly warmer on 28. In the southern towns, moderate southwesterlies and fine for this region. The Catlins and Balclutha should reach 19 degrees, 18 for Lumsden and 17 degrees in Gore. Heading westwards to the Central Lakes, light westerlies and a few showers. Wanaka is aiming for 21, Alexandra and Queenstown 19 degrees, while Te Anau should expect showers, fresh westerlies and 17 degrees. To the northern towns, Timaru and Oamaru can expect a moderate southwesterlies, some cloud with 25 for Timaru and 23 for Oamaru. Twizel and Omarama are due to have light westerlies and a few showers, highs of 21. In Dunedin, brief rain later tonight with breezy northeasterlies and an overnight low of 13. Sunny periods and some cloud tomorrow, light variable winds. Showers developing tomorrow evening, an overnight low of 11 and a high during the day of 18 degrees. Morning showers clearing on Friday, then mostly fine with moderate to fresh cool southwesterlies. Looking at a high of 15 and a low of 10. And in Invercargill, showers clearing tonight with an overnight low of 11 degrees. Mild and northwesterlies freshening tomorrow with high cloud increasing, some rain at night, aiming for a high of 15 and a low of 11. Cloudy on Friday with showers and fresh cool southwesterlies, looking at a high of 14 degrees and a low of 9. That's all for our news this Wednesday. For the latest news from the southern region, head online to odt.co.nz and follow Channel 39 on Facebook and YouTube. Thanks for joining us. Have a great evening. Ka kite anō.
This bulletin proudly brought to you in association with Alex Campbell's Menswear.
Supporting local content so you can see more of New Zealand on air.